Stitchy friends, I'm Michelle and this is my channel, Penny's Daughter Shares. And today I am here to bring you my 2022 kit parade. A lot of these I don't have fabric actually picked out and put with the kits, and I will go into my collection, into my fabric library and pick something out. And if I get to that point and I don't have anything in my library that I really love, then I will go to find the piece that I need. So with that being said, I'm gonna try to not knock over my box that I have set up here with everything in it. And I'm gonna start with the first one. And this one is actually a much larger ongoing project. I'm not gonna bore you with every single piece I have in here already, but these are the Heart and Hand Collector's Hearts. Here is 2008. I haven't started this one yet. I have only started a few, or finished them. And you've seen those, you saw those in my whip parade that I, excuse me, that I put up. So this is 2018, and just as a reminder, what I'm doing with this is I fell in love with these last year, 2021, when I really got back into cross stitch. And when I started looking, I realized that these started somewhere around the year 2000. And so I want to collect all of them, hopefully. I am working on that. There are some that are missing right now. But I want to collect them all, stitch every single one of them, and I'll put the corresponding year on it that it came out. And each of those will represent our wedding anniversary for that particular year. And then my plan right now, so 2025, January 2025 is when we'll celebrate our 25th anniversary. And I won't be able to have them all done because I will hopefully incorporate 2025 collector heart in there. But during the year of 2025, I would like to have all these stitched, and I'm going to put them all together somehow in a large presentation. That's still up for debate and still in the thought process on exactly how that's going to work. Right now, I'm still focused on getting them all collected, and then I will go from there. So that's my first kit, but not a single project in there. It's multiples, close to 20 of them actually. And I do not have any of the flosses yet. I plan to use the called for. That's part of my collection process and what I'm still working on. The next one I want to show you is another big one, and I'm calling it one kit, but excuse me, it's a series in 12 parts, and I have all 12 parts, but I have it listed as one kit. Okay, and I'll show you the first one because that's what I fell in love with. So it's the Cottage Garden Samplings, A Time for All Seasons series. Trying not to get too much glare on there. So this is what I fell in love with. This was number one, and it came out last year, 2021, maybe in February. Does that sound right? And then they were released each month after that. No, probably came out in January. Anyway, I have all 12 of these. I have collected they're mostly charted in DMC. There are a few, sometimes only one. This particular one only calls for one over dyed floss. And so I've collected any of the overdyed flosses that I need. Some of them have two colors, some have 3, but I don't think there's any that have more than 3 in the overdyed. Everything else is DMC. So like I said, I have the overdyed floss. I will need to put together all the DMC flosses, and in order to get them all going. I don't have a plan for when I'm gonna start this or when I'm gonna work on it, but I do have, excuse me, it's a full yard, and I charted this out, laid it out, make sure it's enough. It's 1 yard of Picture This Plus 40 count Ancient is the color, and this is the called for fabric. So I have fabric, charts, overdyed flosses. I would just need to put together the DMCs to be able to start doing these. And like I said, well, you'll see the rest of my kits here, and if you've not watched my whip parade, go watch it. And you'll see how many whips I have on there, and you'll see why this one is not very high up on the list right now. Let's see. Number 3. Okay. All right, so if you watch my regular floss tubes, I'm sure I have showed this to you, and I intended to start it on January 10th, and I just didn't get to it. So this is really high on my priority list, and I do plan on starting it pretty soon. And actually, I might have started it this week, except that I filmed my whip parade last week at the end of the week. And then I knew I needed to do my kit parade, and I didn't want this to get lost in the mix. So I for sure held off. I don't know for sure that I would have picked this up and stitched it, but I for sure did not pick it up because I wanted to include it in one of the parades. So it is the Blackbird Designs Tender Hearts series, and there's 4 charts. Pledge of Affection, My Heart is Home, Stitch by Stitch, and Sweetheart Pocket. And I have the called for overdyed flosses. Fabrics, didn't have such good luck looking for those, for the called for. And because these are kind of patchwork and put together, and they have a variety of fabrics, that was kind of an issue. I ended up finding in my library, of my fabric library, this is XJU Designs Bunny Mom, and it's 32 count, which is the called for count for all of these charts. And you can see Bunny Mom has a lot of variation in it. And so, and I could even open this a little bit more. I think I can be intentional with how I cut this apart for each of the pieces and make it look like a little more variety, that it's not just all one piece of fabric necessarily. The other thing I have to sort of mix in there is just another 32 count, and this is just Zweigart, like a natural or flax. Well, it says flax on the tag here, but it's evening, so I don't know how good the lighting is and how much this is getting blown out, but these will look really good together, I think. And the called for flosses should show up really nice on these. So like I said, this is really high on my get it started soon list. So that's number 3. So then we're on to number 4. And since I'm filming this in the evening again, my whip parade had PJs and wine. The kit parade has to have PJs and wine. So number 4. Again, this is a fairly large project, but I have everything all ready to go. And I just haven't gotten it started yet. I'm trying to find, I'm not gonna have an excellent picture for this because it is, it's Jeanette Douglas. It's her year-long mini bouquet treat, and she is releasing the charts on her website at the beginning of each month this year. And then she already released the border and the layout for each of the 12 parts. And so this is this month's, which that's the pineapple mini bouquet. I don't know if you can see it very good. It's just a black and white printer print off. But if you go to her website, you can see this and you can definitely see a better picture. So, but there's 12 of these little mini bouquets. And like I said, she has a border and a layout for it. I have collected up all the called for flosses, and then I also have my fabric in here. So this is also one that I plan on getting started soon, and I want to get it started and I want to keep up with it this year so that when the end of the year comes, this one is done. So I'm going to stitch mine on this piece of, it's a 32 count. It's a Zweigart fabric, and I can never remember the exact name of it. It's Zweigart Lugana 32 count. It's the gray and white. Sometimes it's called gingham check. Sometimes it's called barn check. I think there's even another name for it out there somewhere. I then treated this, I sprayed it with Instant Antique from Primitive Gatherings spray. So here I can kind of show you. So this is on the back. So you can see how it's a bright white and gray check. But then I sprayed it with Primitive Gatherings spray. So you see the difference. And I'll show you a couple more Jeanette Douglas items that I have kitted up here in a minute. Well, or yeah, pretty soon on my list. And if you can remember, if you've watched my other episodes of Flosstube, I have stitched, it's Cozy into Winter and Fall into Autumn are the name of the charts. And I used this same sort of fabric that I treated the same way with this antique spray, and they turned out fantastic. I really, really like them. So I think this one will look really good on there too. All right, so that was, I'm only on number 4, holy smokes. I'm gonna try to be a little faster than I usually am when I'm talking about things, just because I haven't actually started anything yet that I'm showing, right? And it's a kit parade, it's not starts. So, let's see. Okay, number 5. And again, I am not going to have a good picture. Oh, but I can show you a little bit more about that gingham check fabric. So that'll be nice. Okay. Yep, I have no picture at all. So, if I remember, if I remember, I'm gonna try to get you a picture up here. If not, go to Fat Quarter Shop and look this up. It's the Heartfelt Stitch Along, and it's their charity stitch along for 2022. back here behind me, you can see I have my quilt kit. So I'm gonna do the quilt and I'm gonna do the stitch along, both. So I have kitted mine up with the DMC conversion. I think it calls for Orifloss. I'm using DMCs, and I am going to stitch mine on this gray gingham check again. And I have the package in this kit from this fabric. So then you can see for sure what it is. So here we go. And this happened to come from the Fat Quarter Shop. I know you can order it from other places. And I've also gotten smaller pieces in a package from Hobby Lobby. The Hobby Lobby pieces are not large enough for, let's say, that Jeanette Douglas stitch along. And I'm not sure if they would have been quite big enough for what I needed for this one either. So, like I said, 32 count, it's Lugana, and here it says it's gray check. And it's Zweigart. So, I know you can get this obviously at Fat Quarter Shop, and like I said, I know I've gotten it some at Hobby Lobby, smaller pieces in their package, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it like on Etsy and stuff too. Okay, number 6. All right. This one I also plan on getting to this year. I don't know how soon, but I do want to get to it. And it is, okay, so it is Hands-On Design, Let's Talk Stitching. And it is charted in DMC. I will probably stitch mostly called for colors because I bought a kit from Simple Stitches. I think it's Simple Stitches Fabric Shop. Okay, I found it. It is Simple Stitches Fabric Shop. And if you're familiar, they do a lot of kits for Hands-On Design, different, especially these Let's Talk series. So, like I said, I bought a kit to do this project bag. And and the kit comes with the fabric and the pattern for the bag. And then you buy the cross stitch pattern. I plan to stitch mine not on black. I plan to stitch mine on this piece of 32 count Stormy Night, vintage Stormy Night. So I think you can tell it's kind of a gray. So I'll have to make a little bit of substituting in here for things to show up since I'm not stitching it on black fabric. And I have in here a couple shades of Weeks Dye Works. I have Coal and Blackboard. Yes, these two colors. Ooh, there you go. There's Blackboard and there's Coal. And then I will, when I get started, I'll decide how I'm gonna kind of swap out a few colors. I don't think the white is gonna show up on my vintage Stormy Night very well, not like it would on black. So I think I was probably gonna swap out most of the wording for black, but I don't know, I can't remember what I was planning to do. I think so, based on my little scribbled note. a lot of times I have pretty good notes when I kit things up. This one, not so much. I don't know why. But I'd really like to get that done this year and have another fun project bag. Oh, excuse me. All right, the next one is, I guess, technically an autumn chart, but I'll have it out all year long, so I kind of kept it in my general stuff here. It is another hands-on design kit, or I'm sorry, pattern, and what's this one called? House on a Hill. And you can see it is like a square pin cushion. Is that called a pillow finish? A pillow cushion? I can't remember. But I don't have anything like this, so I thought that would be fun, and I really, really like the colors. I don't know, I really like this one. So I got that. I have the called for colors all set. I don't have my fabric picked out yet, although, what's it called for? It calls for 28 count, and I will, normally I'd say I would stitch this on 28 count because it's like a pin cushion, and that's what the model was done in. But I bought this when I got to go to Keepsakes back in November, and they had a model of this out. It did not say what count fabric it had been stitched on, but it was definitely not 28 count. It was definitely something of a higher count. And it was so cute because it was really petite. So we'll see what I end up deciding when I get this out and get ready to stitch it. Again, this is another one that I would like to do this year, but we'll see. And then I had these that I received as a gift and haven't found a really great home for them. Well, ta-da, they are shown on the model. I'm like, oh, well, that would be perfect. So in the kit they go. So yeah, that is Hands-On Design, Harmony in Autumn, or no, I think the chart name is House on a Hill, but then it also says A Harmony in Autumn at the bottom. And as I'm organizing, I should try to talk more so that you're not just watching me turn my head. But I did want to say I will have there's a list down below in the description box, and it will list all of the kits that I'm showing you that I have here. Or, well, it will list the designer name and the chart name for you, okay? Yep, okay, so I'm up to number 8, and this is Heartstring Samplery. V is for Valentine. And number 1, I just really like this chart. I think it's so cute. One of the main reasons I like this chart so much is it is focused on the letter V, and you don't see that very often. And for anyone who has been following me or watching my other Flosstubes, you know that my daughter's name is Vivian. So anything with a V like this, it just felt like drawn to it as a representation of her. So I really love the colors and I love the design. So I have the called for floss in here. I don't have fabric yet. Like I said, when I'm ready to get started, I will choose something in my fabric library. And I have no idea what count size I'll end up stitching that on. guess. And the other reason I don't know everything about what's going on in these, a lot of them I've just had sort of put away. I haven't looked at them recently, so I have to refer back to them to tell you kind of what's going on. So the model of this one was stitched on 32 count. Oh, just need fabric. So it's stitched on 32 count for the model. So it is only 80 by 80 in stitch count. So this one I'll probably not necessarily do 40 count. It'll depend on my mood, I think, when I get started on it. But that could be a really fun one to do on, you know, a larger count, like 28 count, and do 2 threads of floss. Number 9, okay? This is another Valentine sort of piece, although you wouldn't have to leave it out just for Valentine's Day. But I remember seeing this on Instagram and going, oh, I gotta have that. And this was a while ago. I'm gonna say maybe November, early November, maybe even in October, I'm not sure. But anyway, Forbidden Fiber Co. Love Trio. And I bought the kit. So the kit came with the called for floss, which is all Forbidden Fiber Co. floss, and their fabric, which is 40 count Love Potion, is the color. And you can't see it very well. This one in the middle is stitched with this very variegated, that doesn't sound very good. It has a lot of variation in the floss, and so it looks really, really cool. Let's see if I can kind of pull it out here. See, now I don't know if I'm going to tell you the wrong thing, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. All right. So it's called Heartthrob. Oh, I forgot to grab a board, so I don't have, but see all, all the different colors in there? Oh, I think it'll be so fun. Let's see. Okay, I was going to try to show you the flosses because they're so pretty. And I want to talk about one of them because it makes me laugh. So there's 5 different flosses there. And the fabric, you're never ever going to be able to see well in this light, I'm sure. Oh, maybe. I don't know if it's picking up. There is like a purple color modeling, like a bluish purple modeling. There's, excuse me, some green modeling, a yellow to almost a yellow color. Maybe you can, I don't know if you can tell that there. And then there's even like some pinks in there and stuff. It's really lovely, and I think it'll be very fun to stitch it. All right, so I'm just gonna have to throw this in a bag and put it back together later. I'm not gonna subject you to that on the video, but I wanted to talk about this color. Can you see the name of it? Blush and Bashful. Now, who's familiar with Steel Magnolias and Julia Roberts? My colors are blush and bashful for her wedding. And what Sally Field is her mom, and she's like, they are pink and pink. Just makes me laugh. So I think that's funny. I'm guessing that's where that name came from for the color. I can't be the only one that likes that movie and remembers it and thinks that's very funny. We won't talk about the sad parts of that movie. Just let's talk about that funny part. All right, so that was number 9. All right, 10 and 11 kind of go together. And hopefully I'm not making a crazy amount of noise here as we're going through. All right, this is Jeanette Douglas Designs, and this one is Jump into Spring. See that pretty good? I have the called for flosses all ready to go. And so the other one is Jeanette Douglas Designs, Soar into Summer. Let's see that one, pretty good. So these all, excuse me, this whole series had 3 rows of specialty stitches in each of them. And I did fall and winter already and love them. They're so pretty. And so these are for sure getting done this year. And hopefully in the next couple months, to be honest, the stitching. And then once I have these 2 stitched, I'm gonna fully finish all 4 of them at the same time because I'm gonna do the same sort of layout. They're all gonna get finished into pillow finishes. Obviously they're all different colors because they're different seasons. But, oh, sorry. I am so sorry about this coughing. I think it's because it's later on in the day and just, you know. So the other 2 I've already stitched, and I stitched on this gray gingham Lugana 32 count Zweigart, and I treated it, I sprayed it with Instant Antique. Yes, Instant Antique from Primitive Gatherings for all of them. And the first 2 turned out fantastic on these colors, or on this fabric. And so I'm really excited to do summer, or spring and summer too. And then I'll have all 4 and have a complete set, and they're so beautiful. All right. I feel like I'm moving a little quicker now. This is number 12. Ooh, and this is in a kind of a weird package. Okay, so I guess I could show you that really quick here. So a lot of these things I have kitted up. I have them just in the inexpensive Amazon kind of zipper bags, right? And I also bought some of these. You can see it has like a Ziploc top slider on it. I don't know, this one's black, so it's hard to see, but see the slider on it? And it goes in a 3-ring binder. There you go, you can see better. And these work really well as long as you have a smaller chart and it's not too big of a project in terms of lots of flosses or a large piece of fabric. So, and this one qualifies for that. This is the Scarlet House Patriotic Scissor Pocket. And I have loved this since the first time I saw it, which was probably around the time that people were doing a lot of patriotic stitching last year. And I would always look for it when I was buying things. It was just kind of in the back of my mind, and it was always out of stock. I couldn't find it. I don't know why. So when I was on my road trip with Jeff for his work, and I got to go to Keepsakes, and then I also went to, oh, I'm gonna Stitch and Frame shop in South Carolina. I am drawing a blank on the city. It's just barely into South Carolina, outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. So forgive me for not remembering the exact details. Anyway, I got to go there. It's such a lovely shop. Oh, I loved it so much when I was there. And this was one of the things I saw there, and I was like, yes, like it, I almost didn't have to pick it up. It basically jumped into my basket because it saw me looking at it. Anyway, this is it's getting stitched up. I'm probably not gonna make it into a scissor pocket. It's either gonna be a little dough bowl pillow. Let's see. Yeah, it's 93 by 97 in stitch count. So I could do a dough bowl pillow or just some other kind of display piece is my plan for that right there. I have it kitted up with flosses. I am not using all the exact called for because I couldn't find them all. When I bought this, they didn't have them all in stock. So I did a few substitutions. So the colors will stay true to the design of the piece. It's just that I substituted what I could find to complete my kit. And again, another one that I do not have fabric picked out for yet. So that will get done when I'm closer to actually pulling it out and getting started on it. All right. So 13, 14, and 15 all kind of go together. They're all Mill Hill kits, and sorry for the crinkling. Here is, what's this one called? Harvest Corn, and I just love that Indian corn that's in there and all the beads that they use to make that. It's really cool. This is not high on the priority list right now, but I do really like it. So someday when I feel like doing a bunch of beading, I'll probably pull it out and get it started. This one is Tapestry Noel, and again, I just really like it. Just kind of spoke to me. Low priority. When we get to my Christmas kits, you'll see why. And one more, It's a Wonderful Life. For anyone that knows, can't remember if I've talked about that or not. It's a Wonderful Life is for sure my favorite Christmas movie. And honestly, it might be my top most favorite movie of anything. And so when I saw this come out, I was like, well, I have to have it. And now I look at it and I'm like, I don't know if I like it all that much. I will probably change a bit of the coloring on it. And yeah, because you can see back here, it's like all kind of yellow. I don't really care much for that. And the perforated paper in here looks like it's kind of yellow too. So if I do end up stitching this, I'll probably sub out some colors and I will not stitch it on the perforated paper in the kit. I will pull out, I'll get some linen and I'll pick like a neutral, like brownish, you know, antique-ish looking color. All right. Let's see. So 16 and 17 go together. So I did the Friendstitch this past September, and so I have the owl. Haven't started him, but I would really like to stitch him. I think he's really cute, and I'd like to finish him in some sort of a stand-up little finish. And then the other part, I haven't started it, is, let's see, they call this Let Joy In. Sorry for the glare. I haven't seen this before. I love the colors. I think this is so cute. So I want to stitch this. I just don't know for sure when it's gonna come into play. So that's the problem with loving so many things, right? And you collect them, and then there's just not enough hours in the day. Oh, so the owl came with, kitted up with, like, I think it's pearl cotton and a big chunky kind of fabric. And I plan to stitch it on that. And then the sampler piece is, you could buy a piece of vintage country mocha, and it's 32 count, which is what the model is and what they, you know, suggested for that. And so I bought that piece. I might change my mind when it's time, when I'm ready to pull that out. I might decide I want to stitch it on a higher count, like on 40 count, to make it a little smaller. But for now, that 32 count piece of vintage country mocha is in there, and that is the current plan. Okay, number 18 is Chessie and Me. There you go. And it's called Pumpkin Row. I have this, I was going to start this fall, and then I just got busy with some other things. I have the called for flosses kitted up in here, and my plan was to stitch this on a piece of instant antique sprayed gray and white gingham check. The piece I had in here for this project, I sort of stole out of here and I used it for my Cozy into Winter Jeanette Douglas piece. So I'm not sure if I have another piece of gray gingham around right now that I could spray and use for this, or if I'll end up possibly choosing a different fabric when I get ready to stitch it. But I think it would be a fairly quick stitch, and it'll be really cute to have out in the fall. So we'll see where we get with that one this year. All right. At some point, I need to stop telling you how many we've got, because it's kind of embarrassing. All right. Excuse me just a second. All right, so number 19, Willow Hill Samplings, and this is Autumn Alphabet. And do you see that cute, cute black kitty in there? You know that's why I had to buy it. I love it, and I love the color of the pumpkins. So I have this kitted up with the called for flosses. And let's see, the called for fabric, or in the model, is Murky from Picture This Plus. And I do have a couple pieces of Murky. One is 40 count, one is 28 count. This says the model was stitched on 40 count. So it is 87 by 127 stitches. And yeah, I'm gonna say that I was leaning towards stitching it on 40 count because I think it would just fit in a 5x7 frame and would make for a really fairly quick FFO when I get it stitched. This one's probably, it's pretty high up there for wanting to stitch it this year. Not right now, like, right? I'm not in the mood for fall stitching really at the moment. I know I'll get there, and this probably will be one that I will definitely pull out and go, all right, I want to get this one going. And I have a feeling that once I get started on it, I won't want to put it away and I'll want to keep going with it. Excuse me. All right. Okay. We are entering a Brenda Gervais portion of the program. She is definitely one of my faves. Here is Gone Baddie. Come on, the black cat, so cute. I have mostly called for threads, although if I'm remembering right, the called for the black cat is not very black and I wanted a black cat, so I think I substituted a darker color and when I kitted it up. Otherwise, everything's called for. And then the called for fabric is Kermit. Yes, Kermit from Picture This Plus. When I saw the piece of Kermit, I was like, it's way too bright. Now, if I could go back, I might buy it because I would probably spray it with Instant Antique spray. So that's okay. I am toying around with a couple different ideas on some different green fabrics, and it also it says the model was stitched on 32 count, and I will stitch that on 40 because I think I will like it better. It will just be more kind of the style that I want it to be. So yeah, I'm kind of in the process of, not active right now, but in the process of finding green fabric that will work well for that, because I would still like to stitch it on green. The Kermit was way too wild for me. Okay. Continuing with some Brenda Gervais, I have 21 and 22 in the same bag because they share a lot of the same colors, and so I have them kitted up with called for flosses. I think I have even a couple of substitutions thrown in there, but I think since I was putting this together, I think I came across some of the called fors that I was having trouble finding. So the first one here is Witch's Night Out. Is that so cute? Oh, so cute. Oh, hi Maddie. Can you hear? I'm sure you can. I know you can hear my neighbor's dog barking because it happened on my whip parade. And when I was editing my video, I could hear her plain as day. So, hey, Maddie. Anyway, so yeah, I really think this is cute. And Witch's Night Out, called for flosses. I will just pull something out of my fabric library to stitch it on. And I will I'll do a floss toss when I get there at that point. But something like Picture This Plus Murky, if I have some, or Needle and Flax has a really cool color, and I haven't tried it yet, but I have a piece. It's called Endora, and it has some darker, like almost black modeling on it. And it will look really good for Halloween stitching. So that's the other one that may get pulled. Or I don't know, something else totally different. I have no idea. We'll see. Like I said, floss toss, see what's going on. And then, I don't remember what numbers I said this was. Okay, so number 22 is, ooh, there we go. Hallows Eve at Raven's Hollow. Yeah. Another really, really cute witch. And look at that cute little black kitty. So, had this all kitted up, and honestly, I intended on stitching both of these this past season of Halloween stitching, and again, only so many hours in a day. So that's what I have to deal with. I can't complain because I feel like I got a lot of Halloween stitching in and completed a lot of things and really enjoyed everything I stitched. Let's see. So we are still in the Halloween section of our program. And this one is from Lottie Da. It is a free chart available on her website. If you go and you can find it. It's called Smell My Feet. And I know I will not pronounce this correctly because I don't use this word. Whilst Iris Snaps on Flosstube and on Instagram. She showed this on Instagram. She had stitched this, turned it into like a hanging pillow, and she had beads around it, and she had beads hanging from the bottom of it that were these cute little, yes, so I have white, I have black, and I have orange of these because I wasn't sure what I'd want to put together with it, but I'm going to do something similar to hers. So cool. And then I have a piece of, let's see, 28 count linen from Fiber on a Whim in the color Brick. And it's totally not showing up right. It's a really nice orange. Not bright orange, but like, you know, brick orange. Oh my goodness. It's getting kind of late for me. So that means I'm going to be a little more goofy. Anyway, it's a beautiful color and it'll be perfect for that. And then I'll just pull, I think it calls for a black and maybe green. I think it's a green to help make the stripes on her tights. So I'll just pull something out of my collection and stitch that up. All right, number 24 in our Halloween parade. And I saw this and I had to have it when it was released this year. So Teresa Kogut, Hazel's Halloween Friends. Again, such a cute, cute black cat. And Hazel is so cute. and the jack-o'-lantern, I mean, the whole thing. I love this pattern. And I'm really sad that I didn't have time to get it stitched this past year. So when I'm stitching Halloween, it's definitely gonna be in the mix this year. For sure, because I love it so much. So I have kitted up the called for flosses, well, the over-dyed flosses. It also calls for a few DMC colors, and I'll either pull those out of my collection or I'll pick them up when I get ready to start this. And it looks like the model was stitched on 40 count linen, and I lean towards that's probably what I will stitch this on, is 40 count, but I don't know. I have a few other Teresa Kogut pieces and I've stitched them on, you know, larger counts, like 32, I think 32, yeah, the ones I'm thinking of are 32 count, and I really like how they look too. So I'll analyze that when I get ready to start this, if I want to stitch it, you know, on 32 count to kind of coordinate. And the other thing too, this shows a fairly light color fabric. Yeah, picture this plus vellum, and I will definitely do a little bit darker of a fabric on that one, because Halloween, and I like that, you know, those darker colors. All right, and our final, so this is number 25, and this is, excuse me, the end of the Halloween. And my friend Michelle bought this for me. Not Forgotten Farm, Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom. Yes, look at his black cat. So cool. So I just got this from Michelle recently, and her and I are gonna stitch it together. She ordered it from Country Sampler, so it's a kit. It calls all the called for colors are DMC. Those are in here. And it has a piece of 36 count old stationery, which I believe is a seraphim fabric, to stitch it on. And that's what I plan on using, is that piece of fabric. Again, unless I get a really feeling a little different when I pull it out. But this is something we plan on stitching together at some point this year. It might not be until Halloween stitching, but we'll get there. But yeah, I've loved that for a while and I just had not gotten it, and I can't wait to stitch it, just like everything else I've showed you. All right, I am going to take a little break, and everything else I have to show you is Christmas. I was a little crazy this year when I was kitting up Christmas. Apparently, I thought I could stitch things, finish an item one every single day for the month of December is probably a good estimate. No, I never really thought that, but when you see how many kits I have, you'll wonder if that's what I was thinking, and I must be crazy. Try not to laugh too much because it makes me cough more. Come on. So we're up to number 26. And this one is Early Christmas Morning Blackbird Designs. I have this kitted up with the called for floss. And I'm pretty sure this is the called for linen, which is 32 count, or I'm sorry, I said that wrong. 36 count Winter's Brew. That's from R&R, right? Yes. I plan to make this into a drum, exactly like it's shown. And they have the, they have this circle template and everything in here. So just need to stitch it. I've had, of all the Christmas things I have kitted, I'm pretty sure this one I've had the longest. And I don't know, I just love it. We've all seen lots of people have stitched it and finished it into a drum, and I just really like it. I love how it says Merry Christmas, you know, on the side. So yeah, I would like to stitch that this year. I am not narrowing down much of my list, am I? And you know I'm going to find some more things during the year that I want to stitch. Oh, how can I go faster? Okay, number 27 is hands-on design. Ooh, I actually have fabric picked out for this one. Okay, so this is a chart you can find on her website, I think. Freebie. What's it called? Berries in Bloom. Now I have a printed off copy because, again, at Simple Stitches Fabric Shop, they kit up hands-on designs. And they have this awesome patchwork pillow that, like, this design ends up in the upper corner of it. I don't know, I just fell in love with it, and I loved the fabrics that they had chosen and everything. So I have that kit. So that is my plan, excuse me, for finishing this. And then I have, again, I took a break and I still didn't get a board. Let's see, this might work. I have a piece of 28 count affogato from Fiber on a Whim pulled out to stitch this on, and I have the called for DMCs. Oh, that's lovely. I don't think any game shows will be contacting me anytime soon to do any kind of modeling of their prizes, right? Not doing such a good job. Okay. So that's the called for colors. I'm not going to try to yell behind my arm because you wouldn't hear me. Or it would sound like this. How annoying, right? Anyway, so I have my fabric chosen for stitching. So I think I had this like ready to go and had intended on starting it this Christmas season. Didn't get started. Here's another one. I have it is ready to go. I had every intention of getting it started and it didn't get started. And let's see, this is number 28 in my kits. This is Hello from Liz Matthews. Sorry for the glare. So this is 5th Day of Christmas. Hello from Liz Matthews. So she's doing this series. This is the most recent one she released, I believe. There is just something about this chart that I could feel in my heart when I looked at it. And that probably sounds really corny, and I'm sorry, but it did. And you say, yes, Michelle, you tell us this, but why have you not started it? I don't have an answer other than I got pulled over to something else. So I definitely want to get this stitched up. I am planning to stitch the sampler because that was the one that really spoke to me more so, and I'm not sure why. Because I don't think this looks like my usual style. I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, you've seen a lot of my projects. I don't know. I don't feel like it's my kind of style, but anyway, it calls for, I don't remember. I can't see right now. There is a DMC conversion. I do know that. And I decided to swap out the DMCs for anchor flosses. And so I tried to stay pretty true to the, colors on the chart. Yes, can you look up DMC colors and see what the corresponding anchor color is? Yes, you can. Can you get said colors? So I bought anchor flosses at Michael's, and on the spools, those must only be a limited selection of Anchor's full line of colors, and so I just had to go through and match up to the DMCs. And I even have the perfect piece of fabric for this. It is XJU design. It is a 40 count linen, and it is the color brown paper. It's beautiful. Like, ugh, it's just gorgeous. This whole thing is beautiful, and why haven't I started it? I don't know, because I got distracted with other things, I guess. All right, I think I have all the pieces put back together in that one. All right, let's see. Okay, so the next few are all kind of kitted up together because there's a lot of crossover in the colors. So this is going to be 29, 30, 31, and 32. So the first one is Merry Christmas from Brenda Gervais. Do I plan on making it a pillow? I have no idea. I believe I have most of the called for colors, but I think there were times where I didn't particularly love the red on all four of these. And so I am planning a different red, let's say, but the design as a whole is staying true to what it is. I even have fabric for this one cut. It is, 40 count marbled pointer from XJU design. And I'm sure the color's probably getting blown out and wonky, but so I have a piece of that ready to go on that one. And again, love it. And have the fabric ready to go. And the floss, I don't know why. Ran out of time. The next one is Plum Street Samplers Mary 1. I have the called for floss pulled here for this, but I'm pretty sure I want more like red and green, like in your face, red and green, not the subtle shaded colors that she has on these, on this model. So I'm certain I'm going to make some substitutions. That's another reason why these are all kind of put together and sharing colors, because I could all just kind of go, oh, well, I like this red and I'm going to use it across all of them. So, all right, here's one more. Plum Street Samplers Merry Friends. I just think that's so cute. This one, oh, I was trying to do a quick peek. This one very likely was going to use the call for. And I was just double checking because I do have it written down. I think I have fabric cut for all 4 of these. Yep. And is it the same fabric? Yes, it is. Okay. So all 4 of these that I've just, the 4th one here I'll show you. 40 count marbled pointer from XJU Design is what I plan on stitching them all on. And this one is Brenda Gervais Mary Holly Berries. So they're just cute, fairly small stitches, right? And so I had collected them up and just ran out of time. I ran out of time. I'll try not to say that anymore, okay? So sorry. All right, number 33. We are getting fairly close to the end, all right? Number 33 is Birds of a Feather, Mary Mary. I guess I can. And I just think this is so cute. I love the Santa and I love the little patchwork border, and I just think it's really, really cute. Let's see. I am not planning to use the called for colors on this. In the picture, the red and the green look quite traditional red and green. And when I went to purchase those colors, they didn't seem very traditional red and green to me. So what I have stuck in here is Classic Colorworks Steamed Broccoli for the green, and pretty sure that's Weeks Dye Works Louisiana Hot Sauce, yeah, for the red. So just more, and I could change my mind when I pull this out to stitch on it. I do not have fabric picked out for that, and I have no idea even what count I was planning on stitching that on. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I had made a choice. So that one's really cute. Would love to get it stitched. All right. Number 34. We'll have a little interim Teresa Kogut parade here. So, I know these were just released this year. The other one, I can't remember if it was. Okay, so I have Santa and reindeer ornaments. Let's see. Those, aren't they so cute? And then I also have the snowman and house ornaments. I have these kitted up with the called for colors right now. Again, it's possible I might change out the reds or something when I'm start stitching on them. I'm learning that I'm learning like what I really like, and it's not always what's called for. But I do have it kitted up with the floss. I do not have fabric chosen yet, and these are, the ornaments are full coverage stitching, so like to get the black on there, that's all stitched black. and I probably will do that. I doubt that I will use black fabric. And those have tags on them. Okay, now I can tell you it's Stitch and Frame in Rock Hill, South Carolina. That was such a cute shop. Oh, I just loved it. I loved how it was organized, and I don't know, I had so much fun in there. This one is Teresa Kogut Struttin'. And this one's been around a while, right? I don't think this is a new one. Oh yeah, 2019. So it's been around a little while. I love like the attitude and the Santa and the little reindeer. I think it's so cute. So yeah, I have it kitted up with called for flosses. The Santa's coat calls for a DMC, and I might choose hand-dyed because I'll probably want a little variation in his coat because that's a lot of stitching. So we'll see when I get there. Don't have fabric picked out. Don't even know what thread count I would choose. It says the model was stitched 2/2 on 35 count. I know I won't use 35 count, but so I have those ready to go. Again, love them all. Love them, love them. Let's see. Okay. I don't know if you remember from, and I know I showed it in my finish parade, and then I also, yes, because I did a finish parade, but I also did a Flosstube episode, and I showed Artful Offerings Rocking Horse Sampler, I think is the name of it, that I finished just before 2021 ended. Don't have it fully finished yet, but I have a frame and that's on my to-do list. Anyway, when I found that one, I found a couple others that I really want to stitch. So here's this one, Wintertide Cardinal from Artful Offerings. Just love, love, love this. But I don't have any flosses pulled. I have it stuck in here because I have another Artful Offerings that I do have the flosses for. So it's in my kit parade because it's sort of kitted up. This is Artful Offerings Cranberry Christmas. I have called for flosses. Yes, called for flosses planned for this. I don't have a piece of fabric planned, so I'll pull something when I'm ready to stitch it. I probably won't pull this out until closer to Christmas again, this one. Either one of these. Or, you know, like maybe in July or something. You know, when I'm, like I said, when I'm more ready to do Christmas stitching again, that's when I'll pull them out. All right, so that was 37 and 38. Oh, all right. Number 39. Da da da. This one I love. Oh, I have two in this bag, but not the same designer. Okay. Trying to figure out what I have going on here. Okay. Number 39 is Teresa Kogut. And this was part of the Kitten Stitcher Advent Calendar. And so I believe these are gonna get released sometime this year, I think, for anyone to be able to purchase them. They will no longer be exclusive just to the advent calendar, but this one I fell in love with. So this is called how do I say it? Poinsettia or poinsettia place. And I love this one. Now, in all fairness, this one was opened on day 12, so December 12th, and then I had to kit it up. So I didn't even have this all put together to even think about starting until what? At least the middle of December. Well, no, even later than that, right? So of course had to wait. But I definitely want to stitch it this year. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I just love it. Okay. So number 40, can you tell a difference that it's getting late for me? I feel not as perky. Oh, and now I'm gonna start getting really goofy. Okay, we're getting close. Number 40 is Heartstring Samplery. It also is from the Kitten Stitcher Advent Calendar, day 8. And when I opened this, I just fell in love. So Heartstring Samplery, Ye Old Noel. I don't know if you can see that. Here, let me see if I can, oh yes, I can pull it out of here pretty easy. I'll see it a little better. Maybe? Maybe not. Oh my goodness, okay. Don't move, don't breathe. I have this kitted up with the called for flosses. And I mean, the colors, I gotta show you if I can get them out here. The colors are so gorgeous. There we go. Hopefully you can kind of see the combo and how pretty they are. But yeah, so those are the called for colors. I have those ready to go. And the model was stitched on XJU Design Marbled Pointer. Have you heard that before tonight? Yeah. So I had, so it called, or the design was, or the, I'm sorry, the model was stitched on 36 count marbled pointer. Mine is a 40 count, which is, I prefer to 36 anyway. But so I have that piece of fabric to go with the called for colors. And I'm kind of surprised because if you look at the picture, that fabric looks pretty light, and my marbled pointer is not that light, but that's okay, right? Pictures just never are quite right. No matter how fantastic the photography skills are used in taking the pictures, the colors just do not get translated the same way. So that's getting stitched this year for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. When it's gonna get started, excuse me, I have no idea. but is getting stitched this year. Those are two of my favorites out of the Advent calendar. And when I opened them, just absolutely fell in love. Oh, here's another one that I fell in love with in the Advent calendar. So this is from day 20. And I'm pretty sure once I opened this one, I was like, yeah, I'll kit it up. I know I'm not going to get to it at that point, but I wanted to kit it up because it's so cute. So this is number 41 on my list. It is Plum Street Samplers Yuletide Delivery. Let me see if I can pull it out and maybe you can see it a little better. A little bit. I don't know. Is that helping at all? So you can see how cute that is. I love this one. Oh, how many times can I say that? Well, how many Christmas things do I have kitted up? All right, so like I said, called for flosses. I do not have a fabric picked out. It says the model was stitched on Vintage Country Mocha though. And I know I have some of that in my collection or in my fabric library because it's such a good basic to kind of go to if you need it. So, but when I'm ready to start stitching it, I'll look and see what I have. And to be honest, I probably won't pull the Vintage Country Mocha because I like that chart so much. I'll want, you know, fancier fabric. All right, seriously, we are in the home stretch. That was number 41. I have just 2 left. So number 42. And sorry for the crinkle, but I know the glare on this one would be horrible. Okay. So this is Christmas is Coming by Shakespeare's Peddler. And let me read it to you, and then you'll know for sure why I have it. Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, then God bless you. And can you see how penny is already charted in like standout colors? So I think I saw this. And then Michelle saw it too, and she's like, what do you think? Do you like it? And I said, well, yeah, but I have so many. I'll get it later. And I think it was later that same day, she texted me and said, don't order it, it's on its way. So thank you, Michelle. There's a button pack that goes with this. I haven't really had good luck finding it yet. I would like to, but I don't know that it's critical that I have that exact button pack, or I could probably pull a few little buttons or charms or something to add to it. And so we'll see when I get there if I come across the button pack between now and then, or if I just end up doing my own thing. So I have this kitted up with the called for floss, and yet again, don't have a fabric picked out, but that's okay. Because I have fabric in the fabric library, and that's why I did that. So then I can go and pick stuff out when I'm ready. Okay, here is my last kit in my kit parade. And this is literally the last thing I kitted up. So if you've watched my regular floss tubes, you know that I decided oh my goodness. I decided I was going to do a spending freeze for at least the first 90 days of 2022. This was kitted up on December 31st. Actually, a couple of these might have been that were in the Kit and Stitcher Advent calendar, like toward the end of the month. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go on a spending freeze. I wanna get these kitted up so that they're ready to go when I'm ready. So this one is from the 23rd of December. And again, I fell in love with it. Hopefully there's not too much glare so I don't have to pull it out of this package. Well, that's not too bad. So this one is Stone Street Stitchworks, Peace and Goodwill. I'm trying to read backwards. But isn't that pretty? I love the border. And look how it's border, all the same design still, but you use different colors so it looks like snow. That's pretty. And the house with the bricks. Oh, it's so pretty. How many times can I tell you how pretty it is? It's really pretty. What's the stitch count? 146 by 110. So not terribly huge. I mean, it's a fair amount of stitching. So I have it kitted up with the called for colors, which it's a mix of DMC and some overdyes. I'd say half and half, or maybe not even half are overdyes. But yeah, I plan on doing that. I don't have fabric picked out yet, like everything else, or most everything else. And I have no idea. I'll see what my mood feels like when I'm ready. Let's see. It says the model was stitched on 28 count, and it also says that's Ale from Picture This Plus. My experience with Ale is it's much darker than that, so but if that's 28 count, I don't know. I like that. The only thing is, it's just would be slightly too big to fit like in an 8x10 frame. And this one would be really cute framed, just because it's pretty and it has the border and everything. So I don't know, we'll see. So, I mean, I was joking around about how many Christmas things I had kitted up. I have, yep, that's up. 18 of those kits I just showed you are Christmas. Like I said, I think I was thinking I was gonna stitch and finish something each and every day of December. I don't know, I just fell in love with stuff and kitted it up, and it can go in the collection, and I'll get to it when I get to it, right? I am going to wish you cheers. I hope you enjoyed my kit parade. I hope you got some stitching done while I was talking. Maybe you found some really good ideas of things that you don't have yet that you want to get. I'm gonna say thank you for spending time with me, sharing your time with me. We all know how important our time is, right? So thank you for sharing yours with me. I hope you enjoyed my kit parade, and I will see you soon.